What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the basement. Me and the big guy. Why do you laugh every time I say that?
No, I'm laughing about the whole. You see, you didn't see it, but he called me a cunt just 2 seconds before he said hello, everybody. But anyways, that's why I laugh.
That's how we get along.
Yeah, it's a special love-hate relationship.
He's a cunt. He's a cunt. Everywhere a cunt. What? So, guys, we got some pretty cool books to talk about this week, not the least of which is Convergence issue 2 with Batman and Batman on the cover. We got like 9,000 other Convergence books to talk about. Aquaman, Batman, Shadow of the Bat, Catwoman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Parallax, Justice League International, Suicide Squad, Superboy, Supergirl, Matrix, and Superman, Man of Steel. We also got Ember issue 0 from Boundless. We got Dark Circles the Fox, number 1. Dark Horse Comics, Archie versus the Predator, of all things. From Image, we got RunLoveKill, number 1, and The Tithe. And from Monkeybrain Comics, we have Behemoth, issue 1. Now, guys, we're not going to go through every last little bit of Convergence issues because there's just too damn many of them. And
it's all the same shit. It's
all just like the start of the story, who the characters are, like in what universe and where from, and who they're going to be fighting. Example, Green Lantern Parallax has nothing to do with the Parallax entity. It's just Hal Jordan in jail after he got finished killing almost all of the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
And he's in jail in Metropolis for some strange reason.
Yeah.
Not in Oa or something. No. Yeah. And the lantern rings, having so many, was what fucked him up in the head.
Yeah.
With nary a mention of the yellow dragon worm thing.
Nope.
I don't know why. Supergirl Matrix, presumably she's wearing some sunglasses and she's the one going into computers and shit. No?
Can I help you?
It does star pre-crisis Supergirl, which is pretty interesting, and they finally went back that far. But Convergence issue 2, when we last left this series, we had Telos standing in front of a bunch of TV screens and a bunch of Supermans flying at him. Mm-hmm. Now, this one, we have the Black Superman, who we saw in one of the Multiversity issues, already teamed up with, I'm assuming this is Flashpoint Batman.
No, this is a different Black Superman. This is Black Superman from Earth 2.
Okay. But
he's not Superman per se. He's not Kal-El Superman.
Right.
But he is from Krypton, and he is, he grew up with, what's her name? Power Girl.
Okay.
On Krypton and all that.
But is this Flashpoint Batman that we're dealing with here? Or is this another Batman?
Another Batman.
Or is this Batman from Earth 2 or something?
Thomas Wayne?
Yeah.
That's Earth 2. Okay,
I was really hoping it was the Flashpoint Batman instead. But I did like, that was kind of the highlight of this issue for me, was when he runs into Nightwing and they find their way to the cave and Alfred comes in like, who the hell are you? And he's talking to Nightwing, and he was like, I was led here by Batman. And he's like, Batman who? And he tells him, and he's like, we should probably stay down here. Like, let's let them talk this out.
After that, and Alfred's very nonchalant about it. Like, okay.
And you know what I liked about it, too, was they didn't actually go into the dialogue. Because I think it would take an extremely talented writer to pull off that level of dialogue.
I know who would try it.
Oh, I know plenty of guys that are talky enough to try it. Mm-hmm. Morrison.
That's the first fucker Bendis. I thought about. Yeah. No, they should avoid that.
All they did was they looked at each other, and there was description of the dialogue, and that, I would only find out what was said later on, but it was really just like two people. Each one was the cause of the other, basically. Like, Thomas Wayne, his son was killed. Bruce Wayne, his parents were killed. And there's just a lot of pain and healing in the air. It was handled very well, very respectively, and in only a few panels, might I add. It wasn't like the whole book. So I thought that was really cool. And then he just gives him the keys to the Batmobile and says, basically, good luck. Like, I'm not going to come and bother to help you fight the giant brainiac thing in the sky, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Still setting this up. But I don't... You know what I find very weird about this book is, aside from the fact that there are a bunch of cities that are being thrown together fight style like Street Fighter, is that the characters fighting Telos are not any version of the typical characters that we're used to. It's not our Superman, our Batman, our Green Lantern, our Flash,
it's
nothing.
all Earth 2.
Yeah.
Which I did like Earth 2.
It makes me wonder what versions of the characters are going to actually survive this. I mean, we still got 6 issues to go.
Yeah.
So Telos could turn around and kill a lot of these people.
Technically, he seems capable of it, but he just hasn't.
Right. He seems all powerful, and he just like doesn't care at this point. He's like, it's almost like they're beneath his notice.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
he's fucking indifferent.
Like almost a Galactus type at this point. He's like, don't you want this? Like Green Lantern. This is another thing I thought was weird. Green Lantern is like Swamp Thing. He's like tapping into the green.
That's exactly what he is.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It is, and
this is Earth 2 Green Lantern.
Yeah.
This is how he is. Mm-hmm. Man, I should have read that title.
Well, the big thing about him at first was that he was gay.
Who cares?
Well, that's the shit. That's the first thing they fucking announced about him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Instead of mentioning all these other interesting shit
Right.
about him, they're like, hey,
he's Swamp Thing and not actually Green Lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awesome because I'm reading it and he's like tapping into the green of the planet. And
Yeah, and that
realizes
redhead,
like,
she has the power with the red. Or she used to, and she renounced it.
So she's Animal Man, basically.
So she kind of has like attributes of it now.
Uh-huh.
So she is kind of Animal Man-ish.
That's fucking awesome.
It is.
Might have to go back and actually read Earth 2. I know. iZombie, I get it.
Okay, just saying.
So we're going to keep you up to date on this as best as possible. Again, not so much with all of the side books because it's a lot to keep up with, and frankly, we're not finished with everything yet.
No, we're not.
They spit 10 books at you in a week, and I'm like, yo, it's tough to get through before filming time. But we'll always get through the important stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, I got to hand Book of the Week to Monkeybrain Comics. Monkey Brains. I'm just going to keep doing it to you.
Just as long as you don't do it to me.
No, I'd never do it to you. I can promise you that much.
Okay, good.
Behemoth, #1, from our good buddy JK Woodward, who lent his artistic talents to this. The best way I could describe this is X-Men meets Cthulhu.
Okay.
Or as Roger said, Kafka with guns. Roger's a little bit more cultured than I am. We had to read Kafka back in high school about this guy who turns into a roach, or at least thinks he turns into a roach. You're never really sure if he does or he doesn't in the book. But I never actually read it. I skimmed it and pulled off a book report somehow. Don't even remember. But basically, these government agents show up to this woman's house, and she kind of tries to get rid of them. He's like, listen, I didn't mean to call the cops. It was just an argument with my daughter. And the guy's like, listen, we're not cops. And they kind of break in, and they're like fixing her up. She's all cut and everything. And they hear the kid upstairs, and the woman's like, no, leave her alone, leave her alone. And the kid's busy throwing up in the toilet bowl. And she like wolfs out on them and attacks them.
Yeah.
Somehow, like she got feral.
Yeah.
And crazy.
It's like something is inside of her taking over. Not like a demon in possession. It's just she's regressing or evolving into some kind of monster.
I think a little of both.
And she just like flips a switch and just goes feral, like you said. And damn.
They contain her. They put like one of those like choke collars on her to keep her on a stick and shit.
She gets treated like shit.
Yeah,
they all do.
They're walking her away, and the mother's like, I'm sorry. And she attacks the mother again, and then she comes back too, and she's like, Mom, I'm sorry. Where are they taking me? And you're already like kind of feeling sorry for the girl.
Yeah.
And they take her to this, for lack of a better term, concentration camp, where a whole bunch of other kids who are afflicted with the same problem.
Yep.
But everybody's turning into like different kinds of monsters.
Yeah.
Like I definitely saw a couple of like octopi creatures.
Yes.
Like that's why I said Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
our buddy JK draws a fucking awesome Cthulhu. Come Tuesday, I'll put up a picture on Instagram to go along with this of a Cthulhu that he actually gave to me. It was really awesome. But so she's at this concentration camp, and basically the head of the camp, this general guy,
He's a fucking dick.
he's a dick.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I can't wait for this motherfucker to get his.
You see some tentacles. Anyways.
Some shit. He basically says to one of the doctors in charge, listen, we're lying to these kids. There's no cure, there's no nothing. But I like this girl for Project Behemoth.
Yeah.
So he's basically forming a team of creature mutant kids. Mm-hmm. And he goes and tells her, like, listen, You're never going to see your mom again. You're never going to see home again. You're going to keep regressing into this feral creature form. Even calls her a creature.
Yeah.
Doesn't even call her like a human being or anything.
Dick.
Like, you're going to lose any sense of your humanity, any sense of self that you have, and it's going to come soon. So you can either sit with a bunch of these doctors who are going to fucking poke you with needles and study you, and the change will come quicker, or we can give you a purpose, and you can fight for the United States of America, and you know, you just might hold on to a bit of your humanity a little longer. And the kid's like, she thinks about it for like a panel or two, and she's like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then he introduces her to the rest of the squad.
Yeah.
And he's still a dick to all of them.
Still a dick. He's
total asshole.
Yeah, he's a wonderfully done asshole.
It's like Professor X if he never got a blowjob from Moira McTaggart ever in his life.
It's Amanda Waller's mean brother.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Overall, I like the book.
Yeah.
I like the art. I like the concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
I already got a feel for the characters. Like, I feel really sorry for these kids.
Yeah, and you want to know where this shit come from.
Why is this happening to these people?
So if it doesn't happen in this series, this volume or whatever,
Right.
I don't know if it's ongoing, like a prequel book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the possibilities are not endless, but it's there.
Right.
That's interesting.
So guys, go check out Monkeybrain's Behemoth issue 1. Download it online or order it. The website's on the bottom there. Mm-hmm. So definitely go check that out. Now, we got a couple of questions from our good buddy Matthew McIntyre, who had sent us a bunch of Facebook stuff. But guys, the Facebook questions tend to get lost when you post it if we don't get to check it right away. So the easiest way to, if you want to send us like a picture or something cool or like a video to watch, absolutely post it on Facebook. But if you want to ask us questions for the show, questions@peachbasement.com is the best way to get a hold of us. Mm-hmm. So, Matt had asked, go ahead.
All right, everyone currently in the basement is part of a New York City crime syndicate. How do you know? You have a heads up that the Punisher and Hit Girl are coming for you. What do you do and how long do you live?
I might try to make amends at that point. Like, I have a lot of money already, so let me see what I can do to possibly not catch a bullet in the head and a katana in the throat.
Now, if I know D's still coming after me, I just try to enjoy some booby time. That's it. Those two. Because, I mean, Hit Girl in the comic book is vicious. I mean, Punisher's just Punisher. He's just infamous. We all know Punisher.
Right.
But I don't think a lot of people know about Hit Girl. She's methodical.
I stopped reading Kick-Ass after volume 1.
Yeah, she's methodical and freaking sick. Yeah.
Is she still like a 6-year-old?
No. She's a little older, like preteen, teen, early teen. Yeah. Sick bitch.
So there's no way to stop them?
Nowhere. You couldn't stop her in prison when she was locked up.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just bad.
So you don't think making amends would exonerate me at all?
Nope.
All right. Fuck. Then I might as well try to put all of my money into destroying them when they come for me, like any good supervillain would.
Because you think that way.
Yeah.
What is the first comic book store you ever went to, and what was the first comic you bought there? Lorimer.
Lorimer Street, absolutely. First comic shop.
Yeah. It was a great shop. I
Yes,
fucking
it was.
miss it.
Now it's a bike shop because hipsters.
Hipsters have bikes and pets, because that's what they do.
Little pets, little useless dogs. I'm not denying that the dogs are cute. I'm just denying their usefulness should a criminal break into your domicile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't remember the first book I bought there.
I have no idea. It was probably it might have been. No, I think that Spider-Man book I bought off a spinny rack in one of the little...
Yeah, the Spinning Rack was my first book.
Yeah.
But once I hit Lorimer, that's when I was collecting.
Yeah.
That's when it was like 5 and up a week.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Allowance was just going out the fucking window.
So it probably wasn't even just one book. I probably went crazy and bought like 7 to 10 at a time.
Especially they used to have it all sprawled out. I was like, ooh.
Yep. All the new issues were on like a picnic table on the side. And that was back when all the new issues could actually fit only on a picnic table.
Yeah.
You had Marvel, DC, and who are these Image guys?
I remember I used to call and ask her what did she got. And then she just hold them for the side for me.
Yeah.
And she used to say my name in a weird way because she's Italian.
Ramon.
Yeah. So, okay. What comic has the most sentimental value for you and why? Right now, my CGC X-Men #1 by Claremont, which I am going to get assigned by Jim Lee as soon as I get around to it.
That was nice. That was given to you by a very good friend of ours.
Yes. Yeah, that was a book that started me collecting and loving comics. So when I got that as a gift, I was like, ooh, and I was just.
For me, it's the Vault of Horror reprints from back in the 90s, issue 2.
Grandma?
My grandmother bought it for me. It was the very first comic I ever owned in my life, and obviously it kind of landslided into this.
Okay.
Still have it. I have the original now. I went and bought the original. It was like Vault of Horror, I would say 27 or so. It didn't cost me much either. It was like $50, give or take, for a nice copy. But even still, I mean, this book has been... It's in horrendous condition at this point because it's been read and reread and reread and tossed around and folded and everything else. And fuck it, I don't care. It's mine. I'm keeping it.
Oh, that's awesome. Most hated storyline you've read. Now, we discussed this before.
We have many times.
And you changed my mind.
Did I?
Because I was told that whole Crisis with a time-traveling bullet.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't stand that. But then you brought up Morrison's Batman.
Batman R.I.P.
Yeah.
The idea of Batmite... Batman getting killed and his father turning against him was absolutely fucking horrendous. I know it wasn't his father in the long run, but still, it sucked balls. And then there was the time-traveling Batman, who left himself cave drawings. God, Morrison should just kick himself in the dick for that.
Favorite storyline?
And I hate that more than the Clone Saga.
That's bad. There's been years of Clone Saga hate here.
More than Rob Liefeld's Heroes Reborn.
Oh.
Batman R.I.P.
I hope Morrison never comes to New York Comic Con and is nowhere near you. Favorite storyline you've read?
Like ever?
Yeah, I guess. Hush. I would say Hush.
I'm going to just toss this up and give you my top 3. Crossover storyline probably still goes to Atlantis Attacks. I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. It was the first book that I ever sought out to collect. This is before I ever knew comic conventions were a thing, before they were even remotely as major as they are now. I remember having to go to comic shop trying to find these annuals. And at the time, I think they were only 2 years old, but it was still difficult. It's before the internet was invented, kids. Didn't have it then. eBay was not a thing.
Yeah, you just had it like 50 yellow pages of comic book stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been there for a couple of things.
Fucking A.
All right, scenario. You have the power of any one character in comics, TV, movies for 1 hour.
Only an hour.
Whose do you choose and what do you do with it? Professor X, whatever the hell I want.
I think so, yeah.
That's it.
I am going to get so much money. I'm just going to walk into banks and make them give me the money.
Good banks.
Yeah.
Like those really snooty ones in the city that, you know.
And if anybody tries to stop me, I'm going to make them basically pull their pants down in public and stay there until I leave and my little fucking magic spell of telepathy wears off, and then they're sitting there like, why am I fucking naked in public? And then if they're cops, they can get arrested and fined and thrown off the force and they lose their pension, all because they were fucking brazen enough to try and stop me. And let's not forget the titties. There's going to be a lot of titties in that hour's time in Pete's life. Probably not as many as yours, but titties. Yeah. Titties and cash, bro. Titties and cash.
Yeah, there's some hot chicks on Chase near me.
Might even order a pizza for free. Fuck it. Nah, I'll probably pay. It's $13. I'll pay the pizza.
You guys should make a scale for the current issue stories.
But you know what I could do? I wouldn't even have to make a phone call. I could just be like, and the pizza will arrive because somebody at Grandma Rose's Pizza will just know Pete needs a pizza. And they just make it for me and bring it.
They don't know this already?
They always, yeah, that's true, they do.
All right, next question. You guys should make a scale for the current issue stories you disliked and rate them by Morrison's. 1 through 5. 1 being not good, 5 being fucking horrible, like his X-Men run. That's another
I like
bad
how there's no good part of a Morrison scale. Like, how bad is something? This is reserved for only the shittiest of shitty comic books.
How big are our individual collections and how do we categorize them?
We actually just answered that during our live feed on Twitter, which, guys, you have to check out. This is a new thing we've been doing for a couple of weeks now. It's another brainchild of the almighty Roger. Mm-hmm. And basically, we just kind of set up the little camera on a tripod on the table, and we just bullshit on Twitter live. Like, so, uncensored things. We were talking about jihads and fucking baby kicking. Like, really? Yeah. This is the wild shit that gets fucking censored normally in the show. So yeah, as far as individual collections, mine's I would say between 5,000 and 7,000 strong. I used to categorize it with Microsoft Excel
Yeah,
but
me
then
too.
my computer crashed. I didn't have it backed up, and now I'm lazy. It's on my to-do list to get back to,
That's a scary to-do list.
Oh, yeah.
I have boxes in a storage unit. That's, yeah. I mean, there's a list.
But you don't really buy older issues like I do. So pretty much anything new that's coming out that you buy, you don't have it already. Mm-hmm. So like me, I have bought books twice, unfortunately, because as you get older, the memory starts to fade a little bit.
Yeah, it's your age, right?
No, it's probably something else that I did in my youth.
Okay, that's last question, Matt. Does this fucking shit bother you as much as me? Censoring curse words in the comic book while still showing crazy violence.
No.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
What? I did not expect that. Oh my God.
I know you didn't.
It pisses me the hell off.
Does it really?
If you're going to see somebody run a sword through somebody else.
Right.
And then like 2 pages before, a big black bar where they can't curse.
Uh-huh. Depends on the comic, I guess. Let's say this. Let me give you an example. Best one I could think of. I think it was back during the Peter Parker days of Ultimate Spider-Man. And he's fighting this girl, Boom Boom, or something like that, or Kaboom, whatever the fuck this bitch's name is. And she curses a lot. She's got a mouth like a trucker. She's worse than me.
Wow.
And
that's bad.
They censored all of her curse words.
Uh-huh.
And after that, Spidey somehow managed to beat her up, not physically because he doesn't hit women or anything, but he, I don't know, pulled a fucking rock on her or something. I don't know, webbed her up and shit.
Wait, Spider-Man's never hit a woman?
I don't know. He didn't hit her in this issue.
Okay.
Nevertheless, I don't believe that cursing has a place in comics. And remember when, shut up a minute. Remember when we had the title Badass and I didn't like the fact that it was on the title?
That was a while ago.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't believe that our heroes, who I hold to a higher esteem than myself, who is just a lowly kid from Brooklyn, I don't believe that they should be cursing. Not even so much as ass. I don't say it. And if you have to fucking say it, you're an idiot of a writer who can't get around the word. I fucking curse all the time because my brain just doesn't let myself get around the word. But I'm not a fucking writer who's writing these timeless characters who kids might be reading. However, on the subject of violence, I was watching Freddy and Jason and all those kind of crazy 80s slasher movies at the age of 5 or 6, and I like to think I turned out generally okay. I haven't murdered anyone yet, and that's really because I so don't want to go to prison. So, hey, penal system at its finest.
Penal.
That's the way it's supposed to work. Like, you don't want to kill people because you'll go to jail. That's the idea. So it's working.
Yeah.
But I don't find violence to be a bad thing. I think violence solves a lot of problems. And I'm just gonna say that. Like, for example, if you're talking shit about me, right, behind my back or even to my face, and I tell you, stop, don't do that. You're a dick, stop, don't do that. How much is that really gonna stop you from doing it the next time? Like, yo, man, he fucking tried to bitch at me and fucking yelling in my face and shit, and nigga's a dick, this and that. But then if I knock your fucking teeth out, that might stop you from talking shit. Violence does solve problems. It should never be your first answer, but it's a solution.
Okay. Oh, all right. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with most of it. I think some books. I mean, there's some crazy books out there.
If there's an R-rated book out there where, like let's say Spawn. All right. Let's move away from the G-rated characters.
See, Matt was talking about Psylocke in one of the Marvel books, X-Men books. There was a phase where she was going through where she was like really in the dark side. The whole X-Force stint did her dirty.
I think you could do a dark side without cursing.
Okay.
Spawn, if he's taking down some Punisher, if he's taking down some gangbangers, absolutely. Punisher can let a couple curse words fly. I don't have a problem with that in the slightest. So it depends on the character, Matt. That's the best I could tell you. And it's not something that I think could be generalized. I think it's a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Like if Punisher turns around and says, I'm going to fry your ass with this flamethrower. Yeah, I can't see Punisher saying, I'm going to fricassee your butt. No, it doesn't. That's stupid. Sounds like he should be going to the fucking Blue Oyster Bar saying some shit like that. Police Academy was just on this afternoon. I watched it. Oh, man.
Jesus. All right.
We got one more question from our Instagram buddy, Ayo Mr. Big Geek, who just recently checked us out. Thanks to El Sinestro, as a matter of fact. So we owe you a fan. Thank you, buddy. I said thanks for all the recommendations, picked up a bunch of books that we talked about, not the least of which, as I just mentioned, was Atlantis Attacks. And he turns around and said, Pete, if you liked Atlantis Attacks so much, how did you feel about the What If book, which was what if the Marvel superheroes had lost Atlantis Attacks? And it was this awesome picture of Set, the Serpent God, on the cover and everything. And, well, Mr. Big Geek, that was, as a matter of fact, the book that got me into Atlantis Attacks. I read that first.
Really?
And it was fucking awesome. It was one of my favorite What Ifs. I still own it to this day.
I think that happened to me once. I read a What If, so I went back and got the story.
Yeah. The original What Ifs was so good back in the 80s and 90s, man.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, shit like what if Bruce Banner had never become the Hulk? What if Rick Jones became the Hulk? What if the Fantastic Four never got their powers?
Yeah, later on they got
What if
stupid.
Spider-Man kept his 6 arms? What if Conan fought Thor? What if Captain America had been revived now? Things like that. They were awesome. What if Wolverine killed the Hulk?
I remember
Things
that
like
one.
that. Awesome, awesome stories. And they were one issue, self-contained. You had to have a little prior knowledge of what story they were talking about. But that, if you saw that and you liked it, maybe you went out and then bought the original book to find out what they were talking about, which is what I did. So there you go.
Okay.
Guys, it's about that time. So if you want to watch the rest of the show on video, you can rent this episode for 99 cents. It is yours to keep for 2 days. After that, it magically deletes itself. The little internet fairies come in and it's gone. For $1.99, you can buy the episode, download it to your computer, and it is yours to keep forever and ever more. You can have Pete's Basement parties aplenty. Invite all the ladies over. Let them be in bikinis, eat some popcorn, eat some pizza. Watch Pete's Basement. Let us know about it. And take numerous pictures, please. And finally, for $3.99, you can subscribe to the whole show, everything that we put out all month, including the extras, all the behind-the-scenes shenanigans and silliness that goes on.
Shenanigans.
Plus, you get the episode several days early, Saturday, maybe late Sunday, early Sunday, depending on how long it takes to edit the particular show. And you get early access to the contests and everything. As well, you get 2 weeks for free. So you get to try it out, see if you really like it, and you don't get charged if you decide to cancel any time. But after the 2 weeks, then your subscription starts. So it's 6 weeks for the price of 4. One thing, do note, buddy Ken Jenkins hit us up, asked us how to download the episodes when you subscribe. The subscription service is streaming only. The only way you can actually download the episode physically is if you buy it for the $1.99. If you take issue with that, please write to Pivot Share and let them know, because we'd like it able to download as well. We would like you to be able to download it instead of just streaming. But when you do subscribe, you can backtrack to all of the other episodes that we've ever put out on Pivot Share as well. So it's kind of like a Pete's Basement frenzy, a marathon, if you will. It's a free-for-all. Instead of people doing that 27 hours of Avengers, they could do 27 hours of Pete's Basement.
That's scary.
That's fucking scary.
That is scary.
Guys, thanks for tuning in as always. Hit us up, questions@petesbasement.com, facebook.com/petesbasement. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for up-to-the-minute reviews and all sorts of awesome pictures and shit. Remember, guys, you still have 1 week to enter the Hellboy contest. We're going to give away our last 10 posters of Hellboy and the BPRD signed by artist Alex Mayleave. So all you got to do is hashtag the shit, Pete's Basement Contest Hellboy. Tag 2 of your friends in it, so this way they can try to win it for you as well. Oh, there you go. If they're good friends, they'll give it to you. If they're bad friends, they'll keep the shit for themselves. And of all of the winners of these 10 and the previous winners of any of our Hellboy contests, all of you guys and gals are going to be entered into a contest to win Hellboy and the BPRD issues 1 through 5. Not signed or anything. We're just going to give you the issues. And if you missed last week, we had a pretty long episode with our good buddy Tony Wolf, who put out Green Point of View, which we still have over here. So we didn't get to a lot of the books that we talked about originally. So me and Ramon got together on Monday and put out a lot of extras. We talked about Daredevil, gave a full review with some minor spoilers. If you have not finished it by now, 1, you're a bad fan, and 2, you might not want to watch the episode. So, but go on Pete's Basement Extras on YouTube. You can check out our extra on Daredevil reviews. We also did Image Comics and Dark Horse. Image, we reviewed The Legacy of Luther Strode, Jupiter's Circle, and Savior by artist Clayton Crane. And from Dark Horse, we did Hellboy and the BPRD, issue 5. That concluded. We did The Witcher, Fox Children, which was effing awesome.
It was.
And we did Rebels, which was a
you go.
1776 Revolutionary War story. It was pretty awesome, too. So, guys, there's your homework. Pete's Basement Extras. Instagram, Pete's Basement Contest Hellboy. Hashtag it, follow us, and tag 2 of your friends. And go subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you can always download the audio on Tuesday. We'll see you next week. You ever do monkey brain to somebody? You know what monkey brain is?
No, what?
Monkey brain is where you grab your nut sack and you squeeze just enough so a little bit of like sack comes through your fingers and you're like, monkey brains. I have assholes for friends. That's really what it comes down to. I've never done it.
I'm sorry.
But it's been done to me.
Oh my God!
Monkey brains. Yeah, it's... Roger knows. Roger never did it to me either, but I mean, he knows what it is because he knows the same assholes I do. Oh, wrong pipe. Choking to death on whiskey fucking hurts. Wow.